Welcome back, guys, to another roundtable. My name is Adam. I have Rusmin.
Hello.
Victor.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining us. And today we're going to talk about this video that's been going around by Channel News Asia. The title of it is called Millennials and Gen Z Young and in Debt. So I watched the entire video and basically it was about, how younger people nowadays are spending too much money and they're getting into debt because of it. All right. So they're using credit cards and buy now, pay later and stuff like that. And you guys watched the video as well, right?
Yep.
So we're going to go through our thoughts of, what we think about what we've learned from the video and tips of how we spend money in our 20s. Okay. We're no longer in our 20s. And how maybe we can, stretch our dollar a bit more during this time. So what was your reaction when you, first saw the video?
Actually, let me share a bit about the video first, right?
Yeah.
So basically, they interview two young generation people, and there's a few things that I picked up. Like they spend about $700 to $800 a month on Grab, taking Grab.
Okay.
They also have their personal trainings, and they buy makeup for $300 a month.
Okay.
Right. And they run their student loan on credit cards.
Okay.
And they sometimes miss the credit card payments, right? So and one of the person actually spend almost whatever she earns, right?
Okay.
So I looking at the habits of both of them. I'm just generally quite concerned because without much effort, right, you can actually predict that if they continue to maintain this habit for the next 20 or 30 years, right, it's very, very hard for retirement, right? So I think that is precisely the concern that we have. That's why we decided to do this round table, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those two ladies who shared their story were actually very brave.
Yes,
they were willing to go on
yes,
camera
yes,
and they were very transparent about how they spent and all that. And it's anecdotal. It's just two of them.
Yes,
I think
correct.
some of the statistics in the video as well were pretty
Really
revealing in a sense. You can share some of the statistics.
Yeah, so basically the stats in the video will say that every 3 in 10 Singaporeans spend more than what they earn, right?
Okay.
And
is it among all of Singaporeans or just
the whole Singapore?
Okay.
Right. Then every 3 in 10 adult Singaporeans have problem coping with the credit cards.
Okay.
Right. And they talk about research that they surveyed in 2021 between the age 18 to 30 years old, right? Right. They have very, very unsustainable debt, which is more than 1 to 6 months of their monthly income. And the next one is even more shocking, is that 1 in 3 have a very high level of debt.
Okay.
Right. So having 6 months of debt level is really contradict to our belief of having 6 months of emergency income.
So the other way around. So you're making 5,000 a month. These some of these people have 60,000.
Yeah.
I mean 5 times 6,
30,000.
30,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also they also shared about like 7 in 10 of these people, right? Statistics, 7 in 10 of people who use buy now, pay later, right? Tend to spend more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the first thing. Second is that they say that 6 out of 10 people who use buy now, pay later unable to pay fully for their monthly installment for buy now, pay later.
Okay.
Oh, that is really crazy.
All right. Yeah, like I said, those two ladies were just two examples. But I guess when they did the survey, Channel News Asia did the survey, it's not just the two of them. It's kind of like
in general, the whole
some
Singapore,
people have problems managing their finances. Yeah, and they're spending too much, basically.
Correct.
So recently, our last video, we did like the 7 levels of wealth and basically level 1 to level 7. So a lot of these people are kind of like, this sounds to me, they're level 2. They're still at financial survival.
Yep.
They're earning an income, but they're not saving anything. They're actually spending more than they earn sometimes, and they get into debt because of that.
Yep.
And I think the one that you picked out where the lady was spending using her credit card to pay off student loans.
Yeah.
Was to me a bit surprising because credit card debt interest rates are so high.
Yes.
Compared to student loans.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
I also didn't understand the concept. So I was quite concerned when I watched the video. Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think for someone who have, when we were in our 20s, we went through. For me, I actually went through different paths as what those two people actually going through right now, right? I mean, when I hear that they are spending $600-700 on the transport, right, especially the Grab. And last time nowadays we don't have Grab and stuff like that, but we still do have a taxi, right? Every time when I want to call a taxi, I will be very scared. When I look at the meter, it was like jumping, and so I usually ended up not taking a taxi because it makes me panic, because the rate jumps very fast.
Okay.
So I ended up taking public transport most of the time.
Better for your health as well. Huh?
Yes.
Can't take it.
Really, because that really happens to me, right? So that's why I'm always very hesitant to take taxi unless I really have no choice or there's the places that I want to go is inaccessible.
Oh, and it's raining or something like that.
Oh yes, yeah. So I mean, those are in the 20s, right?
Yeah.
And so I would not want to spend more than $100 for public transport. But nowadays it's common to spend 100 plus, right? So which is normal, right? Because of the inflation. But spending 700, right? I think is quite a lot, and especially. But if you have a household, if you have kids, sometimes it makes sense for you to just spend that amount versus than you buying a car.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So it depends on where you are, right? But for people who are in their 20s when they're starting up their careers, I think they should not be spending that much. But it's still a personal choice.
Yeah.
But it may lead to financial disaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think when you're in the 20s to 30s, right, that is the best time to hustle because you got the lowest liability, right?
Okay.
You don't have a, maybe you are single, you still don't have a family, you don't have a kids.
You still live with your parents?
You still live with your parents and all this, right? And that's the best time you hustle to build your first 100,000.
Okay.
Right. That's very important. And a lot of people that they think is like, you know, I enjoy first, worry later. That's not that should not be the way, right? Because you must always have this
Delay,
thing that delay gratification. Right? What they're doing is what I call instant gratification, which is very bad, right? For moving forward, we should have this kind of thing of delay gratification, right? So always have this phrase in your mind. You know, once upgrade is very hard to downgrade. So when you want to upgrade, you have to take your time to upgrade, right? Upgrade slowly.
Yeah, this
Even
is
though
why
you know you can upgrade, you don't upgrade.
This is why I don't buy fly business. I'm so scared that once I go there, I will never come back down.
Yeah. So when you are 20 30s, you must hustle.
Yeah.
You can suffer a bit on your 20 30s, but once you move on, you know, to your 30 over, you can start to spend a bit, right? So in your 20 30s, you must able to differentiate what is needs and what is wants.
Okay.
Right. So you only spend your money on things that you need, but not things that you want. Okay. But I'm not saying that you totally get rid of all the wants, right? If like this, what's the point of making money?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying that you just suffer for the 10 years, right? When you in your 30s and above, right? You got enough pot of money, you save enough, you invest enough, then you start spending your wants, right? And you start to enjoy the quality of life.
Okay.
Right? That should be the way, right? Suffer now, enjoy later.
So what you're saying is because in your 20s you don't have a lot of commitments.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the best time to save money.
Yes.
I remember saving a lot of money in my 20s.
Yes.
Because I was at one time I was making like maybe I was in the army, I was making what, $500.
Yeah.
I thought that was like enough for me. That was enough.
Oh, yes.
And then now you think about how I'm going to survive on $500, and it really lifestyle inflation really comes in.
Yes, correct.
So in your 20s, best time to save. How much did you save in your 20s in your income? At that
I
point?
managed to build 100,000 when I was around 26, 27.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was saving about 70%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
traditional financial advice will tell you that, you know, save at least 20%. But in your early 20s, you should be saving more than 50%
Okay.
because you have no dependent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there
Yeah.
are some people who do have
Yeah.
dependents,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But if in the event when you don't have the dependents, I think you should not follow the traditional financial advice, right? You should be saving as much as you can.
Yeah, saving is one thing. You must really
Yeah.
hustle to make extra income,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like what I was doing was I was like trying to get a lot of extra incomes. I tried to work side jobs and all this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are not only working on a job, you also work some part times to get extra income. This is the first thing. Second is what I'm doing is that at that point of time there was this part where you can actually buy the iPhone online through your iTunes account. You buy the iPhone, let's say example 888, and you can sell it to the handphone seller, right, for 1,200.
All right.
And you
So you're flipping iPhones.
yes, for 1,200, and the handphone seller will sell 2,000 to the overseas
Yeah.
people because the iPhone don't come out in China first, right? So they get it. So I was purchasing almost every week using my mom's credit card.
Okay.
Right? I don't have the income.
Okay.
Right, I'm using my mom's credit card, and because credit card you need to come out money, so I get the goods first.
Yeah.
I sell it off. I pay back the credit cards.
Okay.
Right, and then I managed to hit 10,000 a month.
Okay.
Right, on just that. Before
Flipping
everybody
iPhones.
get in there, I just get out of it.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So you're flipping iPhones, and basically you were hustling.
Yeah.
Some people will hustle through their main career as well
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know there's a lot of work in your 20s, a lot of energy. You can really work very
Yes,
hard
correct.
to rise the ranks and
Yeah.
everything. And during this point, you should be saving money, spend a little bit to enjoy a bit
Yes,
of life,
correct.
but you should really be saving most of it.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Because what you're saying is when you hit your 30s or beyond, the expenses are going to come.
Correct.
They're going to come.
Yeah. Like I can save at least 50% or 60-80% when I was in the 20s, right?
Yeah.
But right now, I probably only can save 20 or 30 because I got a family, to feed and all this, right?
Yeah, because for most people, once they enter 30s, they are probably will start to have their own families, right? They build a family, so you have all your household expenses coming in. You have, once you have kids, you have the dependents.
Yeah.
The more kids that you have, the more dependent that you get, the more expenses that you're gonna have. Because this is what we are going through.
And also, you do want to enjoy some quality of life also, right?
I mean, you worked a bit harder. You just like, I want to spend a little bit more, have a nice dinner and stuff.
So building your first 100,000 is not very far-fetched. It's very visible. If you think about it, 20 to 30, 10 years, you build 100,000, that is about 10,000 a year, right?
Okay.
That's about $833 a month.
Okay.
So you just need to save $833 a month. But I'm not asking you to just save. You can go and work extra income, right? Hustle a bit, and you can easily build 100. I've seen a lot of people, right, who actually built $100,000 even earlier than me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe in 25 or 24 they already built it because they hustle many jobs and they try to do their best, save as much as possible.
Yeah, I think we did a video some time back. Basically, if you earn the median income in Singapore and you contribute to CPF, you should hit 100,000 by 30.
Yeah.
In your CPF at least.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have that at least in your CPF. But you're saying even for your take home, you kind of save a bit more as well.
Yes,
and
correct.
then you kind of build up as much as you can this financial base, so that when you start your 30s, you have a solid footing.
Yes, correct.
Because you're going to start buying a house, you have kids and families, weddings, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Then
come
you
in.
know that you're on track for retirement, right?
Okay. Yeah. And then from 30s to 40s is a different kind of challenge altogether. So I guess maybe some of the young nowadays, you feel that maybe they don't have that sort of hustle that you had in your 20s.
I think it's the mentality is very different because a lot of times is I think we are living in a world where everything is very convenient.
Okay.
Right. So in our time, it's not like this. Right. Now you want to call a cab, you just.
Okay.
Last time I want to call a cab, I had to call through a phone.
Or you got to stand on the road.
I wait half an hour.
I once waited 40 minutes for a cab.
Yeah, and I just give up and just take a public transport. Right. So everything now in our life is very instant.
Okay.
Right. That's why the buy now pay later is also very instant right now. Right.
Okay.
You know you want to buy into this item, right? But you can't afford it. But then if you split the bill into three, you can afford it, right? That's the reason why the stats also shows that the buy now pay later in 2020, right, the transaction value was like 140 million, and 2021 just 4 times upwards to 440 million.
Yeah, okay.
So that is really crazy. That means people are really using buy now pay later, right? But my take is, right, please do not use buy now pay later. Use it only when you know you can pay full payment. Okay, so how did I use? I also do use buy now pay later, right? So for instance, I bought my Secret Lab table, right, the computer table, right, and I bought it from Secret Lab, and they said that, okay, if you use this Atomy buy now, buy now pay later, you can get a $100 discount.
Okay.
So I did that. I get a $100 discount, and immediately after a few days, I pay the full amount. I didn't wait for the payment.
You buy now, pay now.
Yeah, I buy now, pay now. Yeah, I mean, that's how you should use buy now, pay later.
But you got a $100 discount because of using that.
Correct. So that's how you should use buy now, pay later. You only use buy now, pay later is when you know you can afford. If you cannot afford, then don't buy.
Okay.
That is your want. That's not your needs.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing. Another thing is the mentality of because a lot of times when we buy online, a lot of things they say that discount. That's the mentality we have it right now. Right. Very instant, the discount. So for instance, example, you are in a very bad situation. Like, let's say your financials is not so good. Yet you want to buy a vacuum cleaner. Let's say a Dyson vacuum cleaner, for example, $300. You want to buy, it's very expensive, you can't afford. Right. But the hit Black Friday and they say that, okay, 50% discount. So your Dyson vacuum cleaner you buy at $150. Right. You save $150. So in your mind you think that, I save $150 buying the Dyson vacuum cleaner. But my take is, right, you didn't save $150, you just spent $150.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can actually, you are in bad financial situation, you can actually use a broom to sweep. You don't need to go and buy a vacuum cleaner, right? I mean, it's tough, right? I told you already, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But then once you get through that part, right, your life going to get easy, right?
Okay.
You just have to suffer a bit and your future will be much better.
I have to say that Dyson vacuum cleaners are pretty good though.
I do have it also. Yeah, I think it's a good
I cannot
one.
imagine myself sweeping.
Yeah. So I'm saying that if you are already bad
But that's
situation,
a good point. I mean,
But,
sometimes people think it's a sale, then they think they saved this amount of money. Actually, they spent. that
Yeah.
amount of money.
It's a good point.
It's a good point, and
yeah.
and it really depends on how you use those sales to your advantage. Because if you're saying you're spending on once,
Yeah.
you don't really need that item or
Yeah.
that experience.
Yeah.
It can get very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have needs, it's a different thing because
Yeah.
you need that stuff.
Yeah,
We-
and all these come in very different forms. Like if you were to use Grab, it's the same thing. Grab has the membership $5.99,
Mhm.
and you must minimum spend $15, and you will get $3 discount on your.
$15 a month or
No, it's in $5.99 a month.
order.
okay.
Then if you have to spend minimum $15,
Okay.
then you will get $3
okay, per
$3
transaction.
$3 off the transaction and all
Okay.
this, right?
Okay.
So it may seem like a good deal, right? But if it's for 2%, I think it's a good deal.
Okay.
But every time I try to just buy for myself, I realize that because I want to hit the $3,
you spend more.
I spend more.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, the amount is much more. So in then nowadays, I don't care about $3. I just pay unless I order for my wife and I.
Mhm.
Then that makes sense.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is also a way that they
Entice you to spend more.
entice you
right?
to spend more.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
be very clear of the amount that you're spending. Right.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, of course, the main priority is always try to increase your income, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the more income that you can increase, the more spending
Yes,
that you
correct.
can afford to do it, right?
Yeah.
But there are times where you can't really max out already, right? You're trying so much, and then you're working over the weekends, and then you basically hit the plateau there, right? So the other way you can do is, of course, try to spend smartly, right? So
Mhm.
when I say spend smartly, basically I'm referring to, like, buy those things that you really need, or sometimes once as well, only at a certain timing, like your 3/3/4/4 sales or 12/12 sales singles days.
This is
right?
what you do,
Because
right?
this is what I always do, right?
Okay.
Because I don't usually, when I have something in mind that I want to buy, for example, milk powder for my kids,
Okay.
I don't buy straight away, because if you buy off the shelf from NTUC, the prices is crazy, right? If I buy or wait during the sales day, I can get 30% off
Mhm.
of the normal retail
Then you buy
price.
a whole bulk.
And I buy in bulk,
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
keep it up, right? I do that for the diapers, and I do that for some of the things that I want to buy. Usually they have a lot of vouchers, so make use of the platform like Shopee, Lazada during their sales
Yeah.
days. So that will help you to save a lot on your spending,
Mhm.
right? Because there are
Yeah.
still things that you need to really spend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with him. You should do big bulk buy, right? Do it for your needs.
Okay.
Right. You save more money
For
on that.
needs, yeah.
Yeah.
And that also means you have a very good storeroom.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it's like you plan it. It's almost like like Amazon in there. Everything's
Oh yes.
stocked out. Because I actually don't really do bulk buys, but I do my best not to spend. I have very few wants, I would say.
Yep.
So if I do spend, I really do enjoy what I spend on. But for me, one tip I can share is I love credit cards. I love spending using credit cards.
Yeah.
But I pay them off every single month
Yep.
in full, every time. Yeah, because I'm not going to pay that 20% interest.
It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
it doesn't make sense,
Over
yeah.
my dead body, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay that
Yeah.
amount of interest. Yeah, and it's great because it keeps track of my expenses. Because sometimes when you use cash, you kind of like, if you don't track, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can end up spending more actually.
Yeah.
But with credit cards, you can always, anytime you want to look at your statement, is there, you know how much you're spending in that month
Yeah.
at a particular time.
And
Yeah.
and remember to keep track of your expenses.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
keep
the
track of
best way to
expenses.
control your expense.
Yeah, then it's
Yeah.
like, you have to keep track because there are months where I've spent a lot more. If I didn't keep track, I didn't know like,
Yeah.
oh, this month I spent so
Yeah.
much more. I had to
Correct.
find out why. And
Yeah.
it's all because it was Chinese New Year.
Yeah. I
it
mean,
was
now
throwing
with your
parties.
apps,
Yeah.
you have those apps that can track your expenses. Today, I'm still using those apps that
Okay.
every time I spend,
Yeah.
I just
I still
record.
use Excel actually.
Yeah, well, I use
Yeah.
I'm
that.
using an app.
Ah.
Yeah.
Using an
In the
app,
past,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I will collect the receipt, then I will just write it on a book and something like
Yeah,
that. But now with the app, it's like so easy. I just
Okay.
immediately I just record, okay, this amount deducted from this amount, how much I spend every
you can
month.
export the data anytime you want, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, just make
yes.
sure 'cause
yeah.
sometimes the apps will just die
but
off.
I still,
you know?
I
You
still
can.
do have Excel because
Okay.
Excel I still track the amount of percentage I save every for the whole year, and also the net worth. You have to calculate your net worth every year
Okay.
and track your saving every year. So I do have Excel also to date.
Okay, so we track our expenses every
Yeah.
month. I do that. We track our net worth as well.
Yes, correct.
I do it
every year.
quarterly actually for me.
I do it every
You
year.
do it every
yeah.
year. I do it quarterly.
Yeah.
And it's if you don't, it's like if you want to lose weight and you don't know, you can't even step on a weighing
Yeah.
scale to know what your weight is. There's no way you know whether
Correct.
you're losing weight or
Yeah.
gaining
Yeah.
weight. So you need to keep track of these things. So I guess the point of this whole roundtable in the video, this video is that we watched that CNA documentary. I thought it was pretty good. The two girls were fantastic, and it just shines a spotlight on some, I guess some Singaporeans are just not in control of their finances.
Yes, correct.
And there's so many ways that you can actually take control of it, because you like you said, you don't want to be working for the rest of your life. We can't do that.
Yeah, correct. You really have to sometimes enjoy the quality of life,
So I think one of some of the questions you can ask yourself is that whether you're on track. I think the basic things is, are you tracking your expenses?
Yeah.
Let's say you're in your 20s right now. Are you tracking, or maybe whatever age you are you tracking your expenses?
And are you calculating your net worth?
And you calculating your net worth on a regular basis? Because that is kind of like your financial report card to know how well you've been doing.
Yeah.
What else can you do? I mean, are you paying off your credit card statements in full every month? Stuff like that. Yeah.
Don't get into the buy now, pay later.
Or you can use buy now, pay later, but buy now, pay now. And you take advantage of the discounts that they have as well. And then I think the great point that you made is about needs versus wants.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Sometimes you really don't need that thing. Or like you do it like Rusmin, you just, maybe you want something, but you wait for the discount.
Yeah.
And you buy the needs and wants together as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, so many ways. I mean, if you can share some ideas that you have on how you spend or save your money as well, we'd love to see them in the comments section. But I think this video was pretty interesting for us. Maybe it was an eye opener for you if you watched it already. If you haven't, we put it in the description as well, so you can have a look at it. But yeah, everyone has different stories when it comes to their relationship with money, and I think one thing that I learned about money is not about how smart you are that defines how much money you actually accumulate. The main thing is actually your habits.
Correct.
The habits with regard to money. So you have very simple, or there's very simple habits. Not say simple as in spending money, but very simple habits, like just say save 20% or whatever, and you do that for a period of time. It just kind of snowballs at the end.
And then don't go to the Starbucks.
Don't go to Starbucks. Can just go.
But I still love Starbucks.
You still love Starbucks. Yeah. I don't go to Starbucks though.
I enjoy my quality of life. I always go drink Starbucks coffee.
And of course, like you said, you enjoy your...
Because you have achieved a certain level, right?
Before that, I was not drinking coffee.
So, again, it goes back to the levels of wealth you're at, where you want to go, and how you can achieve, what you want to achieve when it comes to your happiness as well. All right, so do check out the video. I think it was very interesting, and we just wanted to share our experiences watching it and our experiences growing up in our 20s, how much we saved, how we hustled, and how much things have changed as well. All right, so with that, my name is Adam. That is Rusmin, Victor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this roundtable. Anything you want to share about your experiences with money and how you spend, please put them in the comment section. Any questions as well. If you like this video, please hit the round button. Tell us if you're doing a good job. And of course, many more round tables coming up. We'll love to see you around again.